What's up guys, Cali Sunset Gaming with you again, and today I'm bringing you 5 top tips to help you, the casual gamer, on Call of Duty Warzone. Let's get to it. So for a lot of you guys playing Call of Duty Warzone, probably getting pretty pissed off.
Oh,
for fuck's sake. Loads of people are smashing it. If you get into a lobby with Italians and French, it's basically game over. Everyone's absolutely hammering the game at the minute. So I thought it'd be good to give you guys 5 top tips on how to win Warzone. We'll get straight into these top 5 tips. Make sure you definitely stick around for the 5th one, because I'll be giving you some insider information that no one else knows. Yeah, exactly. So the first tip that I will give you is create your own loadout. Now this is something that some of you guys will be watching thinking, obviously I'm going to do that. What some people do is actually just use the loadout that they're using in the main games, such as on core or hardcore. 2 totally different games, bruv. Warzone, 90% of the fights that you're going to have are over long distance, so you need to be thinking about switching up your scope. Forget iron sights, it's an absolute no-go, because the distance that you're going to be fighting people is so long. Most of the time you'll come into contact with people that like snipers on a roof or something like that. So it's imperative that you make sure that you've got a loadout specifically for Warzone to help you out as much as possible. Think of the weapons that you're actually good with. So the weapons that you've got at a high level that you have been using in the standard multiplayer maps. What you want to use is a gun that you have multiple scopes for, multiple attachments for, so you can change the distance. Now the loadout drops twice during the game. One round about the beginning and then one right towards the end. So ideally you can have 2 loadouts. One for mid to long range combat, one for close quarter combat. So for your long range combat, you want to be thinking about putting a longer barrel on your weapon, as well as possibly adding a thermal scope. That's what I do with the LMG that I've got on my loadout too. Gun that you're comfortable with, such as the M4 to use for close quarter combat, or when you're outnumbered. It's always good to have a fully automatic rifle to be able to take multiple people out. Think of the perks as well. Perks are so important. Some people just think, yeah, bang that one on, not really put any thought into it. Can't do that. You've got to be tactical. When you go into the menu and you look at the different perks that are available, it will actually tell you if it's got a separate buff when you're in Warzone. Make sure that you look out for that. It'll indicate it on the drop down menu to the right hand side, and then from there you can select your loadouts based on the types of perk that you're going to be using. When you're looking at the perks, think about certain things such as what sort of fighting are you going to be getting involved with? Think about the guns that you've got as well. Number 2, communication is key.
Truck.
Disregard log.
It's so important, especially now quads has been introduced for Season 3, that you communicate with the team as you're going through the game. Every other team's going to be communicating, so there's no point in trying to be a lone wolf, because if you get into a fight and you're outnumbered, it's basically game over. It's always good to ensure that you're making use of the tagging system, and you can do that by pressing L1 on an enemy or a gun or a perk, a tree, a doorway, a rock, a hill. You get the idea. Communicating with your team is also good, because you're not all going to be using the ammo that you pick up. First, when you land in Warzone, you're just frantically grabbing everything you can. Armor plates, sniper ammo, heartbeat monitor, anything, I'll take it all. But realistically, as you get further into the game and you get your own loadout, you're not going to be using all the bullets. So as a for instance, if you've got an LMG and you've got an assault rifle, you're not going to be needing the sniper ammo. There may be somebody in your team that has a sniper rifle and will need that. Make sure that you communicate it. That way, give them the sniper ammo, they can cover you, while you just go shoot some bitches in the dick. Top tip number 3 is make bank. Bro, money can be used for just more than buying your teammates back, even though it probably doesn't seem like that. You can use that to buy perks, as well as additional armor, kill streaks. You can even buy a loadout so that you and your team can get all jacked up, rather than having to go into where the loadout's dropped and possibly get into a firefight with 7 other teams that are also trying to get their loadout as well. Another way to make money is to pick up as many jobs as possible as you're making your way to the centre. So you might think to yourself, there's no point of getting an assassination contract, because I don't want to assassinate people. I just want to get on with my life, knuckle down, Make my way to the centre circle, have a good time with my mates. No, scratch that. Get rid of that thought straight away. Pick the contract up. Somebody might get it for you. You still get paid. That's the sort of job I want. Someone else to do it for you. You still get paid. You level up your player. You unlock better guns. It's a win-win. The scavenger boxes are important as well. 3 of those, you have to collect all 3, and at the end you either get a special rare weapon or you get a gas mask, or sometimes both. Gas mask is going to come in real handy if you manage to survive into the last circle, because when that circle starts closing and everyone's running around shooting at each other, you're going to be happy that you got a gas mask so you can retreat if needs be. Tip 4, a method that has worked well for me and the people that I play with. Start from the outside and work your way in, going in with the gas. Now the reason I say this is because natural reaction would be to think, just drop down in the middle, have a few scraps, and then just wait. Get my load out and wait. As you all come steaming in, blow them all to bits. Probably not going to happen, I'll be completely honest with you. In my experience, it's always best to start on the edge of the circle and work your way in with the gas. The reason I say this is because A, you're always on the move, and B, as you're always on the move, you'll constantly be picking different things up. It's all right landing in the middle, but once you land in the middle, if you're not moving about the area and you land in a bad place, essentially you're just going to be sat there with really basic weapons, and the people that are coming in with the gas are going to be constantly collecting money, perks, better guns, having a few laughs, having a good time with the boys. The method works really well for you to be able to get as many perks as possible for each members of your team. Obviously you're going to experience firefights because other people do this as well. It's a common tip because it's easier to do that method rather than start in the middle and wait for everybody to come to you. But if you plan it well enough, you can get into the firefights and still win. When you're moving inside the circle and you're going with the gas, you are going to need to sprint your little heart out. Hold that button down and just pray for the best. Make sure you look out for the rooftops because everyone's waiting to get that kill that they can put on Facebook and embarrass you in front of your friends, make you look like a piece of shit. Tip number 5, the secret that you've all been waiting for. I know, calm yourself. Here it comes. Has that bogey been there all that time? This is the secret of 3 lives on Call of Duty Warzone. So, picture this. You land, you think to yourself, I'm going to make a bit of money. You get some money, you get some cash and you think, I'm going to buy self-revive. Wait. Hold the phone. Don't buy self-revive. This is why. So I can get you 3 lives on Call of Duty Warzone. Initially, when you land, don't buy a self-revive kit. If the gulag is still open when you first die, you will enter the gulag. If you win the gulag and then you come back out, once you land and you have the money, buy a self-revive. Because once you come out of the gulag, you will not be allowed to go back into it. Essentially, if you die from that point on, your game is over. Unless someone buys you back in. Yeah, someone could buy you back in actually, I didn't think about that. Yeah, let's fucking edit that bit out. When you're back in, you buy the self-revive. That way, when you get downed, you revive yourself, you're back on your feet. 3 lives. But if you buy the self-revive kit before you go into the gulag, if you use it and you successfully use it and you go down again and you die, you don't go into the gulag. That's the secret. That is the secret. Take it. Use it. Don't use it if I'm in the lobby with you though, because if I die from tips that I've given out to some stranger, I'll be really fucking pissed off. Thank you for watching my video, guys. I appreciate it. Make sure you hit that subscription button as well as the notification bell as well so you can get updates every time I release more content. If you guys have got any tips that you want other people to know that's not going to affect your own game, make sure you leave them down in the comment section below. You guys have been awesome and I will see you next time on Cali Sunset Gaming.